Hotel, okay. I'm gonna go live. My clock is also my camera. My watch is my camera, so. Okay.
Good evening, all rise. Hawkins County Commission session. Commissioner Michael.
We'll be led in prayer by Commissioner Field. Let's pray. Lord, we thank you for another day. We thank you for all the chances you give us, Lord. We ask you to go with us, Lord, and help us to humble our hearts, humble our minds, humble our speech, Lord. Have us do what's right. Help us to search our hearts, Lord, for the right decisions to make, and just let us do it all in good confidence, Lord. We ask you, Lord, to forgive us for all of our sins, Lord. We ask you to forgive us for stepping off the path that you set before us, but we're surely going to. Forgive us of our sins and many shortcomings. In your name we pray. Amen. Amen.
We'll be led to the flag by Commissioner Jesse.
Salute. I pledge
Allegiance to
the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mind your way.
Okay, before we get started, I want to remind everybody you do not have to push confirm on your remotes again. And if you speak, please put your mic down. So, confirm you're here. There she is.
It did.
We have 21 commissioners present.
Okay, we'll do a conflict of interest.
Yes, Mr. Chairman. Those of you that acknowledge you have an indirect conflict of interest, namely Jeff Barrett, do you acknowledge that indirect conflict of interest for all actions and purposes of this meeting?
I do.
Let the record reflect that he has done so.
the Hawkins County Department of Education, quarterly revenue, second quarter report. And general session finance report has been filed with the county clerk's office. And we also got, 18th annual Cherokee Lake Fair cleanup. And the chamber's having their breakfast on Saturday, February the 9th. If you need tickets, see one of the chamber conference board. And finally, we've got a Rockville Farmers Market survey. Is there any office reports from any of the office holders? If not, we'll move on down to commendations and recognition. All right, I'll take a motion to approve the minutes.
Motion.
Motion by Commissioner Fields,
Second.
second by Commissioner Thacker.
Just have to push yes or no. Push yes or no. Don't have to push confirm. What is yes or no?
He didn't mean to do that.
Correct.
Second, I didn't vote no.
We'll go on into resolutions. Resolution number 2019-0101, introduced by Commissioner John Means.
To the Honorable Michael Farrell, Chairman and members of Hawkins County Board of Commissioners, regular session met this 20th day of January 2019. Resolution in reference. Reappointment of Jim Phillips as Hawkins County Attorney, whereas James O. Phillips III has served as Hawkins County Attorney for several years and thus has the experience and capability of continuing to so serve in this capacity, and whereas the present term of County Attorney expires on January 28, 2019, therefore be it resolved that Jim Phillips be reappointed and elected as Hawkins County Attorney with a term beginning January 28, 2019 and ending on the fourth Monday of January 2023. The present salary shall remain in effect subject to any increase if approved by this body. Mr. Chairman, I so move.
Motion by Commissioner Metz, second by
Awesome.
second by Commissioner Parker.
No, that's big.
I push second.
Okay. Okay. All right, we're ready.
Any discussion? Or any nomination? If not, cast your vote. Resolution 2019-0102, introduced by Commissioner Fields.
Before I read this, just for people who haven't been here before, I know there's people here supporting one way or the other. If you want to talk, you can. I just, if everybody's not been here before, don't know what's going on, and if you've got something you want to say and you're not sure how to go about it, just raise your hand. We'll recognize you. Just remember to come up here to the front and speak. I just, like I said, I noticed we have people in here that hadn't, new faces I hadn't seen before, and you might have something on your mind. Anyway, to the Honorable Michael Harrell, Chairman and members of the Hawkins County Board of Commission, in a regular session met this 28th day of January 2019. Resolution to reference nomination of Danny Breeden for the appointment of Veteran Service Officer for a 4-year term beginning January 28, 2019 and ending the 4th Monday in January 2023. Whereas the Tennessee Code annotated authorizes counties to appoint and elect certain officials when vacancies occur, and whereas Mr. Danny Breeden is competent, well-qualified Vietnam veteran for the position, and whereas Mr. Breeden is currently serving as the Veterans Service Officer, and therefore be resolved that Mr. Danny Breeden be nominated to serve as the Veterans Service Officer from January 28, 2019 until the 4th Monday in January 2023. I so move.
Introduced by Commissioner Fields, second by Commissioner Nix. Any discussion or nominations?
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, go ahead, Mr. Allen.
I'd like to nominate Heath LaFollette for this position.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to second that motion.
Okay, any discussion?
Yeah, we'll go ahead.
Please say your name, and if you don't care which part of the county you live in.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Good evening, Hawkins County Commissioners. My name is Tammy Collins. I am a resident of Hawkins County and have been for the last 20 years. I have also been a registered voter of this county just as long. I live in the St. Clair portion of this county. Before I begin, I would like you to know that I am married to a Hawkins County native who served this country during the Iraq War and did so with great pride, only to return home to this great county. I am also the daughter of a Vietnam War veteran. I was raised in many different towns and know what it is like to watch our servicemen and women serve our great nation. Commissioner, it's no secret that our nation is currently in challenging times. Many federal offices are temporarily open to conduct our business. I understand that this is a county meeting, but I'm here to ask that you do not remove Danny Breeden from the County Office of Veterans Affairs. Mr. Breeden helps conduct federal matters for our county veterans. He is very experienced and has done a phenomenal job at fighting for our veterans' rights and benefits. At a time like this in our country, we must have an experienced person to handle these matters. Mr. Breeden is a go-to person that handles our veterans' medical benefits, disability payments, burial benefits, and assisting the family members of our veterans to ensure our veterans and their affairs are taken care of personally. He also sees that our veterans are well educated as to what our government has promised them. It is not to be taken lightly that anyone can do this job. With the multiple agencies and uncountable forms that need to be completed, Mr. Breeden is an asset to this job. Most importantly, he is a veteran himself, fighting for the rights of our fellow county veterans. So before you make the mistake in taking this matter lightly, please take a moment to consider what might occur with replacing him at this time. Delay of benefits for our county veterans, paperwork not filed correctly, lack of trust that takes time for veterans to build up between veterans, VA medical care delayed due to benefits being delayed, and missed opportunities of benefits and information for our county veterans. Thank you for your time.
Gentlemen, that's right here in the back. There's a 3-minute limit on this speaker, so.
My name's Ronald Holt. I live in Hawkins County. Lived here since 2002, and I'm an Air Force retired veteran. I second what the lady said. Danny has faithfully served. He's honest, and the respect and rapport that he's gained from us veterans can't be easily dismissed. And I think that replacing him would delay and hinder veterans getting the care and the guidance they need. He has gained the trust of us, and that's something that not easily done nowadays. Not only with the county veterans, but he has that rapport with the regional office in Nashville. And that means a lot because he knows the people, he knows how to work with him, and to bring somebody else new in at this point, I think would delay and hinder the care that us veterans need at this point. He has gained the respect and trust of us, and we don't want to lose that. I've used Danny Greedy's office before. He's been there to help me, and he has been there to help every other veteran. I've not spoken to any veteran that has anything detrimental to say about his care of taking care of us. And I state it again, replacing him at this point would only hinder us from getting that care that we need. And I respectfully ask you to reappoint him to that position. We need him. Hawkins County needs him. And the veterans definitely need him. Thank you.
Can you state your name?
Ronald Holt, H-O-L-T. That's Hawkins County, Stanley Valley Road. Danny Alvis knows.
My name is Dennis Elkins. I am a Vietnam combat veteran. Spent 15 months in Vietnam. I have not been diagnosed with Agent Orange, but I have been subjected to Agent Orange. And if you know about Agent Orange, you know that from people as 68 years old to in their 70s is a time frame that a lot of it is infecting us, and we're dying by the thousands, you know. And I stand here today to support Danny. He's helped a lot of my friends and a lot of them through this situation and all, as far as getting us care and getting us appointments at the VA, and I support him 100%. And I ask you to support him too. So I live in Hawkins County. I've lived on Clouds Creek for 68 years, so I am a native of Hawkins County, and I've lived here my whole life. So I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening, folks. My name is Glenn Kruger. I'm here with my wife, both veterans. I'm a combat veteran, 100% disabled. We've been down here 6 years. First thing, I came down here, I went into Danny's office because I had some problems. And I sat down and had a lot of questions for him. And it's different from where I came from coming down here. It's a lot, the VA system down here is not what it is where I came from. And I was confused, and I was out of it. Many of you folks, thank you for your service and everything like that. You know what I went through, and I had nowhere to go. Danny and Brandy, and his assistant Brandy, had answers for both of us. It scared me right. I appreciate your time, and we are voters. Thank you very much.
My name's Steve Follett. This is going to be part of some of the things I want to say. I want to thank y'all for your time today. I spent several years on active duty, about 8, and 2.5 years of those I spent deployed to Iraq and Afghanistan. So there's a lot of the things after I got out that I've learned with the VA and stuff like that. I've been through the whole process too, and I would love to help these guys do the same exact thing that Danny's been doing. He's done a fantastic job. that's obvious for all the guys that are here talking about his character and all that good stuff. Our country has a long history of honorable men and women. That's why I'm here. I'd love to take care of them. I know I'm a younger man, but I've also, lived life and been out there deployed and stuff like that as well as these men behind me. The challenges that face today's veterans are vast, from health care to job hunting to education. Those kind of challenges aren't going away. They're only going to get more complicated as time goes on. I'd love to have the opportunity to help our veterans if you could put your trust in me. One of the big things for me is I know that I don't have the experience like some of the other people, but if I don't ever get in here and try, I will never have the experience. So I'd like to just go ahead and try and get that done. I thank y'all very much for your time. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Reed, would you like to speak?
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I've been your veteran service officer for 12 years. And probably that is, besides having grandkids and daughters and married to a beautiful lady, that's been the highlight of my life. I worked almost 38 years for a company up in Kingsport, but these last 12 years has been, let's call it a labor of love. I've been a veteran advocate for many years prior to getting this position, and that started in 1971 when I returned to the United States from Vietnam. This opportunity that I have been given, I will tell you, some of you may realize, may not, that when I came into office, the veterans' benefits monetarily were $2.4 million back in 2006 and 2007. And today, I'm pleased to say that figure by 2016 figures about $28 million. So the office has been very, very proactive, and with the help of a very, very knowledgeable lady, Ms. Smith, we would like to keep that up further. And I would appreciate your all's concern and your confidence that many of you have given to me in the past. And I can look here and I can see a number of people that our office has helped, either directly or with a loved one, whether it be an aunt, uncle, or father, mother, and that's just what this office does. And I'm proud to say that I can vouch for that office right across the hall. We do the best job possible, and I would like to thank the folks who had those great words for me. I don't get that too often, but anyway, I would appreciate your all's concern and your help again in reappointments. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Brad?
Hi, my name's Ralph Little. I live in Churchill. And I just have a question. Why are we even considering replacing a man with 12 years experience with no complaints or anything with an inexperienced man? This is illogical. It doesn't make any sense. The only thing I can figure out is this has something to do with politics. And this is not, should not mess with veteran politics. So that's really why I just want to know why. This makes no sense to take a man with 12 years, an impeccable record, and want to toss him under the bus and bring an inexperienced man. I'm sure Mr. LaFalls is a wonderful man, but that's not fair to him, and it's not fair to the veterans of this county. That's all I wanted to say.
Thank you. May I speak?
Hang on one second.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. You know, I've talked to Mr. Breeden, and I'll be the first to commend Mr. Breeden on the job he done. He called me the other night, and I explained to him my position, and I hope that he understood exactly where I was coming from. And, you know, you guys, I can understand where you at tonight, but let me ask you this. You know, you talking like, and me and Danny, I'm a little bit younger than Danny, but I'm getting some age on me, and there's gonna come a time, and I'm not gonna be able to do anything anymore. There's gonna come a time that we're gonna have to step down and let somebody else take over the mantle, if so to say. And you know, if you guys, and I'm not saying that Danny don't deserve this position, you know, and as I talked to Danny the other night, I have no problems with Danny Breeden. I think he's done a fine job. But what you guys going to, just for example, what would you guys done if you'd got elected for mayor? You know, you're going to lose him if you got elected for mayor. What you guys done then? You're going to have to put somebody in here sometime down the road that's going to be able to work for you. And Mr. LaFollette, he impressed me immensely when he talked to me. And I'm not saying that he's going to come in and know everything. You know, it's going to take, you got to give everybody an opportunity to learn the job. And I even said this to Mr. Breeden the other night. If he sat down and talked to this young man, he would be impressed with him too. Dennis Elkins back there is one of the best friends I've got, and I serve him in my district. And Dennis, if you'd have called me from the very beginning and asked me to support this man, Danny Breeden, I would support him, because you know when I give you my word, that's my bond. And I give Mr. LaFollette my word, and I don't want no hard feelings from nobody here tonight. But I promise you, if he don't get one vote, he's going to get my vote, because I told him I'd vote for him. And I'll just be honest, I mean, when I can't support something other, when I can support something, or when it needs an explanation, I don't care to give that explanation. I really appreciate what each and every one of you veterans are saying. I appreciate you going out there and defending my country to give me this right to sit here and speak tonight. I appreciate that. I've got 2 son-in-laws that's in the Army. I never had the opportunity to serve, but I appreciate everything that you do. Dennis Elkins knows me, and he knows I mean exactly what I'm saying. And I appreciate every one of you. I appreciate what everybody said. But I absolutely don't have no hard feelings from anybody here tonight. I'm just going to vote my conscience and what I said to keep my word. And this, you need to speak. I'm one of us. Thank you.
That's fine. Thank you. I'm Charles Sherricks. I've worked with Danny for quite a while, and I had tried several times to get the VA to recognize the problems that I was having from my service in Vietnam. I was not on a spray bird. My sister's squadron were spray birds, and we walked through that stuff daily, crawled through it when we had to, and I flew all over Vietnam, and I saw the damage that it did to the vegetation, and I know what damage that it's done to me. Danny's fine, upstanding, and I'm going to say young man. He's younger than I am, and he's served us well. And I don't think age should have anything to do with it. I'm 71, still working every day, working rental property and anything else that I can do. So I don't think that we should be looking to replace somebody because of their age. We need to be looking at their qualifications, their experience and professionalism that he does as he represents our county. And we've got somebody that we can respect. We've got someone that works well with all veterans and works well with the public. He helped my mother in getting some aid that I didn't even know was available at the time. So I stand here tonight applauding what he's done for our veterans. He's brought millions of dollars into this county. And before, we didn't have that. So it's, I think it's, your duty as, commissioners to not let politics get into this, to look at what we've got. And Brandy that works with him, she's outstanding. He's trained her well, and it works. So thank you for your time. I apologize for just walking in, but my mother's got Alzheimer's. Even though she's at Signature Living, she's got a UTI tonight and out of her mind. So I finally got a granddaughter that said where I could run over here, so thank you.
Hang on one second, I'll let you speak. Commissioner speaks.
I just wanna say, I've not been a commissioner very long, but I can say, hands down today, that this has been the hardest vote for me. And I've really struggled with it. So I want to say two things. First, to you men sitting here, Danny and Heath, and the rest of you all, coming from a father and a grandfather that did serve, you all are simply some of our most precious assets. And so, regardless of how this vote goes, I think I can speak for everybody to say that we appreciate everything that you all have done. It's just, I can't even put it into words. And I can't discount the experience that Mr. Breeding has, but I've also been in Heath's shoes. We're roughly the same age, and trying to break into these roles in this county where it has been the same people for many years. I know how hard it is to break into that mold. So I just want to say that either way, no matter how this vote goes, no matter how I vote, that both of you are just fine, upstanding people, and I appreciate all the veterans that are here.
I wanted to say that I have worked with Danny on a professional level. I used to do nursing home Medicaid and home community-based Medicaid for the state of Tennessee. I did this for around 7 or 8 years, and that's how I got to know Danny Breeding. He would call me, or I would call him if we had an issue or a problem, and we were both in the same business, trying to help the veterans and the elderly and the disabled. And that's what we did together. And I feel like that Danny's done an outstanding job. I've had numerous folks tell me that they couldn't have gotten this or that benefit without Danny's help. I also feel that his age shouldn't really come into play here. I'm not the youngest chicken in this coop myself. And I feel that once that Danny gets so that he can no longer do this job, then at that time and that point, that's when we should look for a younger person, and possibly Heath at that point. Thank you, Danny, for your help, your assistance, and all that you've done for me over the years with my clients.
Commissioner Matt, I'll let you speak. Hang on one second.
First of all, I want to thank all the veterans, and I know everyone here wants to say that we greatly appreciate your service. And I have to speak on behalf of my father, who can't be here. He's at his grandson's basketball game, but he served in 3 branches of the military, hardcore military, has been all his life. I know what it's like to be raised by a drill sergeant. Even Mr. LaFollette can't disagree with the fact that Mr. Breeding's done a fantastic job. I'd love to be in the position where if there was someone that I was in competition with, that individual would not be able to find any fault in my actions and the way I conduct myself. Even in speaking to several veterans, even funeral directors, all of which have spoke extremely highly of Mr. Danny Breeding and the assistance that he has given widows in their time of need. I just basically feel led to speak on behalf of what I know my father would berate me heavily if I didn't speak up for Mr. Breeding.
Okay, this lady right here first.
Tammy Collins again. Mr. Brewer who speaks, what I say is kind of in line with what both of you are saying. Mr. Brewer is I'm sorry, I understand what you're saying, that we're wanting to let somebody else in, but you're asking us to put somebody else in a position that is not wanting to be vacated. And I understand that you're saying we should let somebody new in and our time must come. I'd like to personally say that I'm the president of an auxiliary of much older women, and I followed in their footsteps. And when it was my time, that's when I asked for my nomination. As being younger than most of the people in my organization, it was my responsibility to learn the ways, to take the time to learn from what came before me. Mr. Breeding is not asking to be released from that position, and there's no reason that anybody has said in this room that he should vacate that position. I'm not saying that the other candidate is not good or his intentions are not good, it's just not time. Thank you.
This lady back there in the back.
Hi, I'm Patty Stevens. I live in Hawkins County over in the Choptack area. Married to Glenn Kruger, Vietnam vet. I'm a Navy vet. I was the only female vet in here, I think. So I just wanted to say that Danny Breeding has been very helpful to us. And age shouldn't matter. He's a very young, whatever age he is. And he's got such a great rapport with all his vets and all, just everybody, so why ruin a good thing, you know? And I'm sure the younger guy is fine too, but, you know, have him come in and talk with Danny, you know, and let him start to learn the ropes just by visiting with him. And then maybe when Danny's finished with this job, then he can take over. Thank you.
Ma'am, what was your last name?
Stevens.
Thank you. Commissioner Green.
I must have pushed it accidentally, I don't want to say anything.
Anyone
Except for those fine gentlemen.
Let me step back up here again. My name is Ronald Holt, directed to Councilman Brewer. I understand your position, but making a statement that you'll vote for him without even hearing the support for Danny, I think is not giving a fair shake to him. Now, and to discriminate against age, that's not quite right either. And Councilman Goins, she said it right. He's serving. He's capable, able, serving. It would be different if he was not able to fulfill his duty as the county VSO. Then yes, most definitely bring somebody in to replace him. But to replace an outstanding individual that's doing the job, that has gained the trust of his veterans, just for the sake of replacing him with somebody who's a little bit younger. I don't think that is giving us veterans the benefit of the doubt that we respect him, we rely on him, and at the time that he can't perform the duties, yes, by all means, consider somebody else. And for you to say, well, what if he got elected mayor? You can't go on what ifs. We all could be, we could drop dead now. So you can't go by what ifs. He is performing the duty. Nobody has any complaints. Not taken away from Mr. LaFolla. Everybody starts out young. Nobody starts out with 100% experience. We gain it somehow. And yes, you've got to give the gentleman the opportunity, but not while somebody is capable and performing his duty, unless it is political. And for you to do it on a political basis is wrong. And that's all that I have to say.
My name's been called out twice here tonight. I think I've been misunderstood just a little bit. I'm not discriminating against anybody age. And I hope Danny was not offended by what I said. Because, I mean, me and Danny talked the other night, and I think that Danny knows where I stand. And I believe that Mr. Elkins will vouch for me back there about, you know, I have nothing against nobody. But, you know, it ain't no what if he'd have been elected. Mr. Breeden was willing to walk away from his job
or he wouldn't have never run to start with. You know, and that's not, but now listen, I'm not gonna get in no argument, I don't want to do that. I absolutely, because I respect each and every one of you out there. I respect you guys, every one of you ladies that's went over there and fought for us, and I hope that you can understand. I'm not here tonight, when I spoke a while ago, I wasn't speaking for or against anything, I'm just letting everybody know what I promised, and I'm a man of my word, you know. And if you guys had called me to start with, and I'd have give you my word that I'd voted for Mr. Breeden, or Mr. Breeden, or Mr. Elkins, if Mr. Elkins had called me a month ago and said this is coming up, Rick, I want your support, what would I have done, Dennis?
You would have supported him.
Yeah, exactly.
Then why let us, if you're not gonna listen to your citizens,
I'm listening to every word you're saying, I respect that. But when I tell you I'm gonna do something other, I'm not gonna break my word to somebody else. You know, if I'm gonna, I've done already give this gentleman my word. And my word's my bond. And I'm not discriminating against anybody, and I don't want nobody to be mad at me tonight. I think me and Dennis are just as good friends as we ever been. He understands me, he knows where I'm coming from. And I hope you all can understand that.
No, we don't.
Hey, no, we don't. You're my commissioner. You're my commissioner.
Order.
My name's Frankie Davis. I'm a former commissioner of this
You're out of
court
order, sir.
for 12 years. I've never seen nobody try to take over a position like you do, Mr. Brewer. I voted for you. I'll never vote for you again. You don't know nothing but to run your mouth.
That's your priority,
All
Mr.
right.
Davis.
These are nice people here. Don't ruin their profession.
And I said they're not nice people.
Call for order.
Don't ruin their profession.
We've gotta have a discussion here, so we need to go by order of rules here, so if you need to speak, I will try to recognize you, so just be patient. We've got orders to go by, rules to go by, and that's how we're gonna do it. Are you done, Mr. Brewer? I guess I better keep my mouth shut, because every time I open it,
That's
somebody
right.
thinks something
Amen.
takes me the wrong way.
You listen one.
Commissioner Talley?
I don't know if I'm gonna do it or not. I don't really know neither one. I don't know Danny. I don't know Mr. Carl. I've heard good things. I've heard good things about both of them. I had a call this afternoon wanting to know how I was going to vote by one of the people in my district. I hadn't made my mind up. I honestly have not, to this minute, made my mind up. But whichever way I vote, I'm voting by my conscience, what the county needs, what the veterans need. It has nothing to do with age, the ability to do the job. It's, in my opinion, what holds the future. And I just want to let Danny know, I don't really know him, but I've heard nothing but good. And I just wanted all veterans to know how much I appreciate y'all doing everything you've done and risking your life, so we can sit here and have a civil discussion, and that's what freedom's all about.
Commissioner Field?
I just want to clear something up really quick that I've heard mentioned a few times and kind of thrown by. This was not 21 commissioners trying to replace anybody. You guys need to know this was not something that we just conjured up. This is, and Danny can even tell you this is a 4-year appointment. It was time to be voted on again. It was not something that we just said, hey, we think somebody else ought to be in here, we're going to vote for somebody else. It is a 4-year term that has to be voted on every 4 years at this time. It has nothing to do one way or the other with any county commissioner wanting somebody else in there. It is a state thing. State says we have to do it. Right, Danny?
Exactly.
I mean, so, you know, it was time for Danny's appointment to be voted on again. You know, you can have, You can have judgment, you can have harsh words against anybody up here, but don't have it because you think we're trying to kick somebody out and put somebody else in, because that's not the deal. We don't have a choice but to vote it again. It's law.
Commissioner Thacker,
I call for question.
question's been called. What we're gonna do a voice call.
Mr. Chairman, there's another gentleman back there that asked before this, Mr. Elkins. If we could, I would like to recognize him again, if it's all possible.
What we're gonna do, as your name is called, you pick the candidate that you wanna vote for. And we're gonna do it for a roll call, so.
As I call your name, please tell me whether you want to vote for Breeding or LaFalle, please. George Bridwell,
Reading.
Raymond Jesse,
Reading.
Sybil Von Trent,
LaFalle.
Jeff Barrett,
Reading.
Keith Gibson,
Reading.
Tom Kern,
LaFalle.
Danny Alvis,
LaFalle.
Charles Housewright,
Reading.
Charles Thacker,
LaFalle.
Dawson Fields,
Breeding.
Valerie Goins, Breeding, Hannah Speaks,
LaFalle.
Linda Davis,
Breeding.
Mark DeWitt,
Reading.
John Metz,
Mr. Brady.
Nancy Barker,
Mr. Breeding.
Larry Quantz,
Reading.
Rick Brewer,
Mr. LaFalle.
Bob Edens,
Mr. Reading.
Donnie Talley,
Reading.
Michael Burrell.
Reading.
15 Breeding, 6 LaFalle.
Reading. Move on to your email.
I'd just like to say thank you, folks. Thank you for your support, as always.
Okay, we'll move on. Resolution 2019-0103, introduced by Commissioner DeWitt.
But before I read the resolution, I just wanted to make clear that this really doesn't change anything that we've been doing. It just officially puts into place some rules for submitting resolutions. To the Honorable Michael Burrell, Chairman, and members of the Hawkins County Board of Commission in regular session, met this 28th day of January 2019, resolution reference procedure for resolution submission. Whereas the commission wishes to clarify a procedure to avoid costs of special called meetings, out of order resolutions, and to provide adequate preparation time when possible by adopting the following procedural practice for resolution submissions. And whereas it has been standard practice that all resolutions be submitted to the county clerk's office by 4 p.m. on Monday, 2 weeks before the regularly scheduled county commission meeting, this deadline dictates a resolution's in order status. Closure of the clerk's office due to holiday, inclement weather, or other arena closure shall extend the deadline to the next business day at 4 p.m. Resolutions missing the deadline mentioned above are considered out of order, and standard procedural practices apply in regularly scheduled county commission meetings. Therefore, be it resolved that the following procedures constitute proper submission of resolutions. Commissioners requiring assistance in drafting a resolution are encouraged to ensure all required information be delivered to the county mayor's administrative assistant by 3 p.m. the Wednesday prior to the Monday submission deadline. Naturally, inclement weather and unforeseen office closure permit submission on the next business day. However, prior arranged closure and holidays require the sponsor plan accordingly and expedite arrangements. Commissioners drafting resolutions by personal sponsorship or on behalf of their respective committee will adhere to the Monday 4 p.m. deadline as outlined above. Professional courtesy dictates the sponsor drafted resolution be submitted to the county mayor's administrative assistant in addition to the county clerk. Be it further resolved, the sponsor is responsible for proofreading and confirming the accuracy of submitted resolution prior to public dissemination by the county clerk. Confirmation by sponsor is deemed evident by signature or electronic means. Mr. Chairman, I so move.
Motion by Commissioner DeWitt, second.
Are you,
I'll get the second.
okay, hang on, let me make a motion first. Okay.
Do I need to hit motion?
Hang on just 1 second.
Well, I think I'm going to hit the-
Okay, I did. Now,
now.
okay.
Motion by Commissioner DeWitt, second by Commissioner Alves. Any discussion? If not, cast your vote.
Yes.
Motion passed. Resolution 2019-0104, introduced by Commissioner Hicks.
To Honorable Michael Farrell, Chairman and members, Hawkins County Board of Commission, in regular session, make this 28th day of January 2019 resolution and reference. Approval to accept memorandum of understanding to transfer a county employee to the University of Tennessee employment. Whereas as the fiscal year 2018-2019 budget hearings, UT Extension Hawkins County Director, Mr. Blake Ramsey, approached the Budget Committee asking for an increase for a part-time employee salary unknown to Mr. Ramsey or the previous Budget Committee. The increase would also increase that employee's benefit package. The increased benefit package caused the total amount in the fiscal year 2018-2019 budget to be short. As a result of the shortfall, the University of Tennessee is offering to pick up the first year's benefit increase and one half the second year, with Hawkins County assuming full responsibility in the third year. Whereas the University of Tennessee is asking the Hawkins County sign a memorandum of understanding for said employee. Please see attached memorandum of understanding and a letter from Mr. Ramsey as an explanation. Now therefore be it resolved that approval be given for Hawkins County to sign said memorandum of understanding with the University of Tennessee. Mr. Chairman, I so move.
Motion by Commissioner May, second by Commissioner Gibson. Any discussion? If not, cast your vote.
Well, 1 second.
Oh,
Sorry.
Mr. Ramsey.
I guess I need to give explanation, I will, if I'm allowed to. Just to give a background for the vote. I did go, in front of the Budget, Committee. Again, my name's Blake Ramsey. I'll try to be short here, but, I'm the UT Extension, agent, Agriculture County Director. And just the background, on this, Jennifer Lawson, she's been working for 16 years, and we got her over to UT, and that, getting her to that $10.58 an hour, because she's able to cost share with the University of Tennessee now. She's a UT employee, still paid by the county, so she's able to get cost share savings, which actually getting her $10.58 an hour, that $1,700 is actually a sort of a wash and don't cost the county anything. She was eligible for some benefits with 68%, where she's a part-time employee, 68% of her benefits, she was eligible. We didn't know that until it went through HR. So we have a new dean as well, and I had a new director, and they wasn't aware of that at the time until it went through HR. That's why we're having to come back and do this. But she's been a very good employee, worked for 16 years, and she's well deserving of this. And I hate that that come public like this, the way it worked, but appreciate your vote on that again. This is just a vote for the memorandum of understanding saying it's gonna cost the county anything this year, and next year will be half, and then won't be county responsibility until year 2020 to pay for part of her benefits. Again, she's worked for 16 years, great employee. She's making $10.58 an hour. We have to start somewhere. This is something I think should have been done before, but I've been working. This is my third year, and hopefully, like I said, this will be the start, but got to start somewhere. I appreciate your vote, and well deserved. Any questions on that?
Blake, as we already discussed, I supported giving her the raise. She well deserves the raise. And I understand you didn't realize that there's gonna be some added expense to this, but you done already know my position. In the budget committee, I voted no, and I'll still have to vote no tonight, because, we're gonna have to come up with, that's new money somewhere we're gonna have to come up with. And, I feel like if, University of Tennessee can pay that this year, and can pay half of it next year, maybe we need to put this off to talk to them, maybe to see, somewhere down the road, but, I'm just one vote, and, I hope you respect my position. It's nothing personal against you, and I want you to know that.
I will say one thing, all other, part-time, program assistants in the state of Tennessee, that's county paid, the county pays their benefits and their, salary, so, all other counties do that. Dr. Burns, he's in the new dean, he was just wanting to try to help, because I talked to him about the budget and things, how it's been tight in the last couple of years. But he said, that's something he would do to try to help the county transition to that. But it's nothing that they can, like I said, all other counties in the state, the county pays that portion of the benefits. Any other questions? And also too, talking about the cost share on the computer, there's actually a lot of savings where it really, wasn't gonna cost the county even the benefits very little. So, thanks.
Thank you. Any more discussion? I assume you done spoke. That right, Commissioner? Okay. Any more discussion? If not, cast your vote.
Yes, 2 no.
Motion passed. Resolution 2019-0105, introduced by Commissioner Thacker.
Honorable Michael Burrell, Chairman of the Hawkins County Commission, regular session at 28th day of January 2019. Approval to surplus 5 solid waste road off trash trucks for sale at JM Wood Auction Company, with proceeds used to purchase 2 new roll-off trucks. Whereas the Solid Waste Committee has met and voted to recommend to the Hawkins County Board of Commissioners that 5 solid waste roll-off trash trucks be declared surplus property. Description and quantity are as follows. We have two 2018 Mack trucks. It's got the VIN numbers there with those, and that should be 2 here in quantity. We have 2006. I'm not sure about the other one, so somebody be here to answer that. But anyway, we've got 2 VIN numbers there. Then we have a 1988 Mack, and a VIN number goes with it. So, whereas the Solid Waste Committee also voted to recommend the full county commission that the surplus trucks be sold at an auction conducted by JM Wood Auction Company in Montgomery, Alabama. Now, therefore, be resolved that the listed roll-off trucks be declared surplus and be taken to the JM Wood Auction Company to sell, and that the proceeds be said sold would be deposited into the solid waste fund number 116 for the purpose of purchasing 2 new roll-off trash trucks, with any remaining funds reserved for future truck purchases. Therefore, be it resolved that JM Wood Auction has guaranteed a gross sale of $327,700 for said trucks. The commission rate of 7% absolute will be charged in the gross sale, as well as any detail work performed. Mr. Chairman, I so move.
Motion by Commissioner Thacker, second by Commissioner Brewer. Any discussion? On the 2006, if you go back, it shows 2 2006 trucks, so. I know you wasn't for sure about the 2006.
No, I wasn't.
But it says it back in the inventory list there. Commissioner Talley.
I know the last time we done that, we had a discussion, issue, whatever you want to call it, about the transportation of getting those vehicles down there. I don't remember the cost, but there were costs involved in that. Is there still gonna be costs involved in that?
Director Lily, can you come up front and explain it?
Is this our new?
This is our new solid waste director. I'll let him introduce himself.
Good evening, my name is John Lilly, I'm the new solid waste director. I took over on or about November 20th. As far as the transportation, the vendor that is selling us the 2 new trucks has agreed verbally to absorb the cost of the transportation of the trucks because we're purchasing 2 new trucks. So there should be no cost to the county to transport the trucks to Alabama.
We'll just stay there, so.
Okay.
Commissioner Barrett.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Question I've got, specifically involves the 2 trucks, that's 2018 trucks. This being the start of the new year, like 28th day of January, 2019. I'm a little curious as to why we need to surplus basically 2 new trucks. These two trucks, originally, back when they were purchased, cost $156,011 per truck. And if I looked at the paperwork supporting this resolution, it states, if I looked at it right, that they're going to offer us a net of $132,618. That's roughly $23,000 difference per truck times 2. It's roughly, my math tells me that we're giving up roughly $46,000 to purchase 2 new trucks. I have a little problem agreeing to sell 2 basically new trucks. I don't have a problem with the 2006 trucks or the 1988 trucks, but can you justify selling these 2018 trucks?
Well, I approached this, as you know, this program's been going on for some time in the county. This is not the first time that we've gone through this. I, like you, kind of approached this with a bit of skepticism. I didn't understand how we could, or why we should reach out to buy new trucks. One thing that we are picking up is obviously 2 new trucks with 0 miles on them, where the 2018s that we have now, I'm not sure exactly how many miles they have on them. As I said, I came into this program sort of midway, so I'm still trying to get up to speed. But what this program does afford us is 2 brand new trucks that are under warranty and virtually eliminates all expenses associated with any repairs on these garbage trucks. What we've seen in the past is very high expenses. As garbage trucks, and I came from the garbage industry, I worked in it for 25 years. So when we go to repair some of these trucks, and we're talking about cylinders or any, not even really a major component, the dollars associated with repairing these trucks is tremendous. I mean, just parts alone, where we would think of an alternator for a car maybe cost a few $100. we're talking thousands of dollars. So, this is a way for us to kind of clear some of the older equipment that we have, get 2 brand new trucks, eliminate many or much of any repair costs that we have. And, I don't know, or foresee, this program going forward. This may be the last year that we're able to do this because, we're not gonna have a couple, 2 or 3 trucks laying around like we do now. So, I hope that answers your question to the best of my ability, so
Let me touch on that a little bit too. I was one of them involved when this program started. The price you're looking at, the $132, that's just a guaranteed price. Cause usually the last trucks we sold last year brought more than what they estimated at auction. So, in other words, this is just a guaranteed price. These trucks, they've been bringing anywhere, I think last year they brought about 160, 170 a piece. And the reason we're selling 2018 trucks is because when we brought this to county commission, I think it's last year when this started, that was part of the agreement that we'd sell new trucks, to keep new trucks, and wouldn't cost the taxpayers a penny. And that is why I think they allow us, I'm gonna say roughly 35 to 43,000 miles a year on a truck. And then, within that time, we do not have no cost in these trucks, then we can replace them with brand new trucks. And that's what this program started with. It was just trying to keep trucks without having a lot of maintenance costs and all that. You're gonna have the basic maintenance costs, tires, windshield wipers, blah, blah, blah. But to do this, it keeps the maintenance fees down and keep the county new trucks. And that's how come you got the 218s in it this year. And I think the 218's got around 30-some thousand on them, I think. So that's the reason the 218s are in this.
Can I have one more question?
Yes, go ahead.
You mentioned warranty. What type of warranty are we getting and on new trucks? And for these 2018 trucks, has there been any major repairs done to them already?
well, as I said, I began in November, so I don't know of any repairs that we have done in the past. Maybe some of the
I don't think the 18s had any repairs on them.
Do they have like 1-year warranty, 2-year warranty?
I think it's just 90 days.
90 days.
On a brand new truck, I think you get 90 days warranty. So after that, the county will have to eat the cost of any maintenance we'll double check on that warranty, but I'm pretty sure it's just 90 days on a big truck, commercial truck.
I think it may be longer than that. In fact, I've had some getting some warranty work done on some of the last trucks that we have, so.
It's not like buying a new car, I can assure you. You ain't getting a 5-year warranty with it.
That's all I had. Thanks, sir.
Commissioner Brickland.
I believe the questions that I had, Commissioner Barrett covered them very well, and yourself, so I'll refrain from saying anything else.
Commissioner Speaks.
I have a couple questions, and probably that you would probably be able to answer maybe a little better. If we hold these trucks just another year, do you have any idea how much they depreciate? If we keep the 18s until 2020, will this program be there? And if so, how much do they depreciate?
It depends on the mileage.
On the mileage?
On the mileage, yeah. That's the key thing on this, it's the mileage.
So I'm assuming though, did we use them a full year to all of 18?
I think we bought one in 17 actually.
I believe that we actually have longer than that.
Yeah, I think one of them was bought in 17, but it's actually an 18 truck.
So if it now has, you said roughly 35,000 miles on it, so I assume that's about a yearly average, so that would go up to 70,000 a year from now. Do you, and it may be that we don't know, but do we know how much these vehicles depreciate as mileage goes up?
No, but also I think they even been using some of the older trucks to keep the miles down on these new ones, so it could actually go up higher than that if they start driving these trucks every day. But I think it was set up where they, I think it's 2 extra trucks, is that right? I think.
Right now, they're using the 2012 as their spare truck.
Yeah. I think they use it to keep some of the miles down on the 18s.
Okay, so how much does, it says that we're gonna use the sale of these to purchase 2 new ones. Do we know how much the 2 new ones cost?
Yes, 2 new ones are $156,892 apiece.
Okay, so 312,000, basically. So there will be a surplus. We're not gonna have to add money to buy our new trucks. So this is basically, these 18s, it kind of sounds to me like a leasing program. So we get something new every year.
And I think from the sale last year, I might be wrong, but I think there was money left over that's in a special fund just for these trucks. So you also have that extra money also.
Okay, and then, okay, I just have to tell you the story. I had a vehicle as a teenager, and I traded it for one that I thought was cooler, and my dad said if I kept trading, I was gonna end up trading for a pair of shoes, because I kept going down. So I just wanted to make sure that we were not going down. Thank you.
Commissioner Brewer.
Biggest thing I was gonna do before everybody, I was gonna get you to explain this because you was on the solid waste committee before, you dealt with this before, but the way I understand it, we need to take action on this tonight because, we've actually, if I'm not wrong, we've already got 2 trucks waiting on us maybe?
There are 2 trucks waiting on us. There's also a time crunch with as I mentioned to Commissioner Barrett, that the vendor is offering us transportation to Alabama at no charge. He needs to get moving. We can't wait till the end of the month. The sale is coming up the first part of March, and he's gonna need some time in order to transport those at his convenience so that we can enjoy those savings on the transportation.
I'll finish by saying this. I was skeptical of this when it was first brought before county commission, but it's proved that it will work. You know, we're not, before we started doing this, and Mr. Chairman can correct me if I'm wrong, the maintenance budget in the solid waste was way over $100,000 a year. And, you know, we don't have that much in our maintenance now as far as in the solid waste, and it's a win-win when we don't even have to drive them enough, and we have to replace the tires on them. You know, these tires getting more than 30,000 miles, you know. If you have to replace all the tires on one of the vehicles, that's quite a bit in maintenance, but, you know, I think it's a good deal, and I think we need to take care of this tonight.
And let me also explain this. I mean, like he said, 18s, they're saying they're gonna give us 132,000. I mean, whatever it goes over, we get it all, but I think 7% of it. Anything that's over $132,000. So, and I mean, and they have a fall auction and a spring auction, I think. One of them's better than the other one, from my understanding, so. But anything that's over, they only gonna keep 7% of the over cost. And we'll get the rest of it. Commissioner Thacker.
Well, my question's already been answered. It's my resolution, but I'll call for question.
Question has been called.
no.
Motion passed. Resolution 2019-0106, introduced by Commissioner Mills.
Mr. Chairman, if it's okay with the commission, since we've had a couple of weeks to look over this, I'll just read the heading of the resolution and not individual entries. Resolution in reference budget amendment general fund, Mr. Chairman, I so move.
Motion by Commissioner Mills, second by Commissioner Barker. Any discussion?